When it comes to street gangs in gaming, none stand out quite like those found in the Saints Row series. Whether it's a drug cartel, Oriental bikers, or even a group of luchadors, there's never been a lack of exceptional gangs to encounter. However, not every gang concept made it into development, and there are even a few that had to be removed from the final product. Today, we'll be taking a look at all the cut gangs and concepts throughout the Saints Row franchise. Unfortunately, with Saints Row 1, we can only speculate on some of the cut gangs from early gameplay and trailers. So we'll be moving right along with Saints Row 2. During Day 2 of Volition's Saints Row 10th Anniversary streams, video editor Josh Stinson revealed concept art for 4 unused gangs, the first of which is only known as the Camo Gang. They appeared to be heavily military themed and would have used a wide range of weapons and vehicles. Aspects of this gang could have very well been incorporated into the Brotherhood. Judging from this character, he would have likely played a similar mechanic role to Donnie.
Oh, shit.
Next is a biker gang called the Mods. Their appearance is very reminiscent to the greaser subculture, and they seem to have a fascination with rear-view mirrors. On to probably the most unique concept shown is the Clown/Mime Gang. It seems they would have specialized in fire-based weapons and rode around in a modernized clown car. Though they didn't technically make it into the game, there is however a gang of mimes during the DLC mission Ultor Family Fun Day. After killing a mime affiliated with Dex, a limo pulls up with a dozen more that have to be killed.
Kill the mime. You don't really need a reason, do you?
The last gang shown were the Leaders of Progression. Unlike the other concepts, this gang actually made it into Saints Row 2 before eventually being replaced by the Sons of Samdi. The Leaders would have been a punk militia with a military-grade arsenal. I'm curious if the turreted Bulldog was originally for the Leaders prior to being used for the General's boss fight. Before moving on to Saints Row III, we might as well take a look at the gangs from the cancelled PSP game Saints Row Undercover. In case you're not familiar with Undercover's story, it takes place after Saints Row 2 where the Saints have been divided into a civil war. The two opposing gangs that appear in the game include the rival Saints and the resurrected Sons of Samdi. The new Saints would take control of drug distribution in the city and are operated by the mysterious Lady Ranja. It isn't known exactly how the gang would look because there's only temp models for each gang member. Based off Lady Ranja, however, they likely would have adopted an orange and red color scheme. Even though the game was cancelled, enough missions were finished to know that the rival Saints are defeated with a sword fight on top of burning penthouse. As for the Sons of Samdi, their only difference from Saints Row 2 is that the gang leader is an identical twin of Mr. Sunshine. It wouldn't be revealed that he is a twin till halfway through the gang's arc. Now on to Saints Row III, there's a total of 5 known cut gangs. Out of those 5, the Orient is the only group to nearly make it into the final release. From early concept art, leftover game files, and dev interviews, we know the Orient would have been an all-female organization in control of sex trafficking in the new Colvin district. The reason they consisted of only females was a conflict with the Morningstar's early concept of being a male-only faction. The gang would have been run by 2 Asian sisters, Nasuko and Yukako, or Suki and Yuki for short. The two would eventually evolve into Viola and Kiki the Winner after the game's story was condensed and the Orient was combined with the Morningstar. Regrettably, for the third's 4 other gang concepts, quite little is known about them. In fact, we can only go off these cardboard pictures given to me by Volition's community developer Mike Watson. Some of these concepts should look quite familiar like the Luchadors, and the Ninja Bladers are basically an earlier concept of the Deckers. The other gangs include the Agency, Secretary Assassins, and the Cowboys. The Agency and Assassins are speculated to be an earlier version of Stag and the Orient, but the Cowboys are for sure an original design. This image doesn't give us a lot of information, but I think it's safe to say this gang didn't endure development for long. And finally, let's talk about Saints Row 4. For a game where you play as the President of the United States fighting aliens, you'd be surprised to know just how many gangs had to be scrapped. You see, back before THQ made Volition turn their unfinished Aaron the Dominatrix DLC into a full game, they were in early development for an entirely different Saints Row 4. Known as either Saints Row Part 4 or Saints Row 4 Prime, the story would have taken place in a new city where the main antagonist was an evil clone of Johnny Gat. The evil Gat would have created his own syndicate consisting of 3 gangs controlled by cloned historical figures. These figures include Cleopatra, Joseph Stalin, and Genghis Khan. There isn't any art for the gangs themselves, but we can at least see what their occupied districts would have looked like. Though I'm not a big fan of the clone idea, it's still upsetting that we'll never get to see the original Saints Row 4. It could have very well made a bigger impact in the gaming industry and potentially have the most unique gangs of the franchise. Well everyone, there you have all the known gang concepts to be cut from the Saints Row series. If there's a gang you would have liked to have fully seen, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. Before ending this video, I'd like to give a special shout out to my Patreon sponsors, John, Jordan Flattery, Kaya M, Scissorp, and Sam Just. Like always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.